Welcome to USA News Today. Please subscribe and check notification box to get all breaking news alert and latest updates on hot cases. Our vision.
Migrant Caravan latest news, breaking stories and comment. Honduras, inside ground zero of the Central American migrant crisis. They step through the airport gate alone, or in small groups. Some are met by family members, others haggle with taxi drivers for a ride home. Some carry a few possessions, but plenty have just a white plastic bag containing flimsy documents. Some appear pleased to be back, others do not. 9 months after a migrant caravan from Honduras drew attention to the plight of people from Central America desperate to enter the U.S., tens of thousands are still trying by any means to cross the border, and tens of thousands are being deported. Twice a week, 2 or 3 flights containing up to 300 deportees land at San Pedro Sula Airport, where the human cargo is quickly offloaded. Many say they intend to rest for a few months, then try again. For Donald Trump, the fight to prevent undocumented immigrants from entering the U.S. has become a vital, viscerally held element of his re-election strategy. The splitting up of families, the detention in grim facilities of unaccompanied minors, decried by the UN as appalling, and a rewriting of regulations that makes it harder to apply for asylum, something activists say pushes migrants to risk more dangerous crossings, has all been carried out. Apparently often for political reasons. In 2017, 22,381 Hondurans were deported by U.S. authorities, according to information released by U.S. Customs and immigration officials. In 2018, that figure increased by around 30% to 28,894, the equivalent of 80 people a day. Meanwhile, in Honduras, along with countries such as El Salvador and Guatemala, thousands remain undeterred by Trump's tactics, or by images such as that of Oscar Alberto Martinez Ramirez, 25, and his 23-month-old daughter, Valeria, photographed by a Mexican journalist, face down and dead in the Rio Grande, having been swept away as they tried to cross. The young man's mother sits fanning herself under a tree as the day's heat gathers force, sobbing quietly and playing a recording of her son singing that he sent to her from the detention center on Mother's Day. The family comes from the small town of Olanquito, a 6-hour drive to the east, and they set off before dawn to collect Fernando. "We don't want to leave this country, but in some cases it is necessary because we don't have the opportunities here," explains the aunt, who says she has degrees both from Broome Community College in New York and the National Pedagogical University in Tegucigalpa, and yet has been looking for work for 10 months. "That is why we have to go another country. It could be the United States, it could be Spain. It could be another. We love our country, that is why we don't want to go. We don't want to go to the United States, we know it is very hard." Trump is not lying when he says the U.S. is seeing a surge in migrants arriving at the U.S.-Mexico border. The U.S. has always been a target for people to better their lives. A study by the bipartisan Washington, D.C.-based Center for Immigration Studies suggests the number of immigrants from Central America, legal and illegal, has grown 28-fold since 1970. What has changed is where they are coming from, and the factors driving them. Since 2015, the number of Mexicans entering the U.S. has been equaled by the number leaving. But there has been a leap in people from the so-called Northern Triangle: Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. In 2018, citizens of those countries accounted for 87% of Central American immigrants. At the same time, the number of apprehensions at the southern border, while increasing in the last 2 years, stood at 467,000 in 2018, down from 1 million a year in the mid-1980s. Experts say the biggest source of illegal immigration to the U.S. is people who overstay their visas. A complex knot of frequently overlapping factors drive people to leave Honduras. But a lack of economic opportunities is among the most significant. Of Honduras's 10 million people, up to 2/3 live in poverty. Perhaps 20% live in extreme poverty, the World Bank said in 2016, surviving off less than $1.90 per day. More than half the population is under the age of 25, and youth unemployment stands at around 8%. Gang violence and insecurity is another major factor. While the scale of killings has fallen since 2012, per capita Honduras has the second highest murder rate for a country that is not an official war zone. El Salvador, which has a rate of 82 deaths per 100,000 people, compared to Honduras's 56, has the highest. More recently, the impact of climate change in the dry corridor in the southwest has made life even tougher for those dependent on agriculture, the largest source of income. Honduran farmers were already struggling with a coffee blight and the globally low price of coffee beans,